Okay, folks, well, I did it again. I was just looking at this gap in my guitar rack and I needed to get a new guitar. I couldn't let that gap just sit there. So I had been thinking about getting a Fender Telecaster for some time. So I got this one, and this is really a nice guitar. It's a step below, I think, the Ultra version of a Telecaster. You know, honestly, I like the way this one felt better. I went out like I usually do and went to a local Legacy store, tried a bunch of different ones, I believe 4 or 5 different ones, including there's a Jimmy Page Dragon one. I tried a somewhat cheaper version that's maybe $600 or $700. And then I tried the Ultra, and then I tried this one, and it kind of A-B'd them back and forth. Frankly, this one won out. The Ultra, really the difference is that it has noiseless pickups. However, the hum from these is really pretty minimal, so they must be shielded fairly well. I haven't noticed a lot of trouble in that regard. First off, it felt better, and secondly, it just had a little bit more guts to it for some reason. This is the one I went with, and you can kind of see, I'll hold it up. It's got this, triple brass nut, which I think, it looks nice. Allegedly, it has some kind of tonal characteristics that people like. I really don't know. I do like this kind of bridge for this sort of guitar with single coils. I have that on my Dan Electro, which I talked about in another video. Standard kind of thing. You've got a 3-way switch. You've got your neck pickup both on, and then your bridge pickup. This one, of course, being a little bit brighter. This one being a little more bassy. You've got a middle position where you can put them both on. You got a coil tap on the tone control, and then a volume control, and that's basically it. And back in the day, I always associated Telecasters with Bruce Springsteen. There's an iconic photo of him on the cover of Born to Run with a really heavily modified Telecaster. I'm sure you can think of it in your mind. If you haven't seen it, look it up. It's pretty cool. I wasn't a big Springsteen fan though, so I always kind of associated this with that kind of music, which I've come to appreciate more as I've gotten older, but still not a huge fan. But for whatever reason, I've just sort of come around to thinking about Telecasters in a different way. And I didn't want to buy one sight unseen, so I went out, tried some out, and found this one. I really have enjoyed it. It's a good fit in the suite of things that I have. It doesn't sound like a Strat. It doesn't sound like the Dan Electro that I have either. And it doesn't sound like the Gibson Les Paul Studio that I have. So I'm enjoying it, and I'm going to play a little bit and kind of show you what we've got. I've got be playing it through this Positive Grid Spark amp. It's a nice kind of practice amp that I bought a while back. I take it with me when I play with the guys on Sunday afternoons. So it's been a useful addition. So I'm going to play a little bit and talk a little bit more in a minute once I get all that plugged in and turned on. The first thing I'm going to do is just play a little bit on the clean setting. These Sparks tend to be a little bassier, so that's kind of a thing. So I'm going to go ahead and start on the bridge pickup. I've got it kind of dialed back just a little tiny bit in terms of volume and tone. So they're not maxed out, but they're at 9, let's say. It's clean, got a high end and kind of that little bit of kick to it that a lot of guitars don't have, and I really enjoy that. If I were to, you know, switch over a little bit to something a little bit different, and I'm going to turn it up just a little bit. I've gone straight to the neck pickup, which is a little bassier. I'm going to turn this up just a little bit and play this Meters song. So anyway, the meters are really fun. Forgive my flubs in there a little bit. As far as being able to crank this thing up, it retains its character even when you turn it up. And so I'm gonna do that now and play something a little bit different. So it is distortion, but no other effects. Quieter part. See what I mean there? So it retains that kind of Telecaster tone, but at the same time, it gets a lot punchier, you know, and it takes the distortion pretty well too. I'm just gonna mess around a little bit and see what we can do. Maybe we'll kick in a little bit of A and a little bit of chorus on this. Oops, I did something. Okay. You know, interestingly enough, having had a maple neck Strat for so long, for whatever reason, There's two things about that have kind of subconsciously entered my thoughts about playing. First off, this is a little bit of a wider neck, which, you know, my hands are pretty big, so it's easier to kind of jump around and do what I need to do. The other thing about it is I'm not sure what it is, but this feels a little more responsive to me. Now, I know there's a million thoughts about all of this kind of stuff, and I have no idea, but all three, my most recent guitars, all have Rosewood necks, and two of them, this one and the Les Paul, have this kind of little bit wider of a neck. And that's nice. Not to say that playing a Strat isn't fun, because I played it the other night, but for whatever reason, I kind of just have become more open to that now. I hope this helps me justify a little bit in my own mind why I bought this. It's a lovely guitar. I'm having a really good time with it. And it really kind of fits that idea that you get what you pay for. And buying a little bit better quality of a guitar certainly beats getting a little bit cheaper thing, you know, saving up a little bit more and buying something that's in that kind of pro grade category. Certainly has been a positive for me. I hope y'all enjoyed that, and if you're a fan of Telecasters, leave me a comment. If you absolutely hate them, please do that too. Have a great day. Thanks for coming by.